to Martin Luther King. Indeed, very inspiring. Thank you, our chairman. I'm really honored to be here. I'm honored to stand here just to introduce a woman that I've admired so much. And some people may think, when you read our communication in the forums, or in the internet or Facebook, you may think that we met. But I want to tell you that I never met Susanna Jambo. But we have worked with Susanna Jambo for over 9 years. We have communicated, we have written letters against our enemy in Khartoum before we had our independence. We have done so many things together, but we never met. When we communicate, you think that we are friends, that we grew together, but no. And it is because of this SPLM. This party that we cherish so much, we value, that has brought us together to respect each other, to communicate like sisters, and also to uplift each other. There's one thing about Susanna Jambo that I really admire, her patience. All of you have read, especially recently, how she has been attacked, humiliated. And I felt in my heart, how could a man, Southern Sudanese man, really attack a dear sister like Susanna Jambo? I grew up in a culture whereby they say women talk too much, and that is how they say women talk too much, women insult each other. But men are supposed to be calm when there are issues. They have to chew it, and they talk less to reflect the way forward. Men have power to control, but I've seen the difference. I don't know if it is the food in America or in Europe that has changed our hormones, and then everything is changed upside down. However, all in all, I just want to tell you, as much as we think that Susanna Jambo is only a political leader, Susanna Jambo is a mother. She has a 14-year-old boy with her here in this building. Madam Susanna Jambo currently serves as an SPLM political party National Secretary for External Relations, overseeing all SPLM external relations, SPLM relationships with the national and foreign political parties, South Sudanese diaspora, foreign SPLM relations, and other related external SPLM affairs. In December 2009, and as part of her duties as Foreign Relations Secretary, Susanna facilitated and assisted in the drafting of the first SPLM foreign policy. She also acted as a multi-faceted advisor on various SPLM pertinent foreign and organizational, constitutional, and visionary issues to the SPLM chairman, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of South Sudan. In 2010, South Sudan's first general elections, Suzanne participated in a team of strategists to prepare for the South's first elections in the capacity of a director for communications for the SPLM presidential candidate, His Excellency, our President, Salva Kiir. From 2008 to today, Ms. Jambo is in charge of the SPLM Diaspora Organization and the unification into becoming one global SPLM family by formulating the diaspora guidelines. Prior to joining the SPLM in her new capacity as the Secretary of External Relations, Ms. Jambo was the founder and the coordinator of the new Sudan Indigenous, that is NGO network, is abbreviated NESI Network. Since its foundation in 2000, NESI Network was comprised of more than 77 national Southern Sudanese civic society groups, which is a largely network and one of the most powerful civil society forums in South Sudan. In 2001, Madame Suzanne wrote a book called Overcoming Gender Conflict and Bias, the case of the new Sudan women girls, a woman's and a child's rights activist. Ms. Jambo has worked with international organizations such as Amnesty International, Secretariat in London, the United Nations, World Food Programme, and the UNICEF. She holds a professional degree in law and other policy and development-related certificates. She is a member of several networks and national, regional, and global levels of issues of indigenous people's rights, human rights, and women's rights, peace and advocacy, and the lobby on concerned issues, among others. Ms. Jambo addressed the United Nations Security Council in New York in 2004, prior to United Nations Council's historical meeting on South Sudan of Nairobi in October 2002. Between 1999 to 2005, she was SPLM peace negotiator at the IGAD, Sudan peace talks, that culminated to the signing of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement, CPA, which ended the more than 20 years of civil war in the Sudan. Furthermore, she was a commissioner at the Southern Sudan Law Drafting Commission that drafted the CPA, interim constitution of the government and the people of the Southern Sudan. That was 2005 to 2011. In addition, for most 10 years, Suzanne participated or presented discussion papers, petitions in several national, regional, and international conferences, meetings. This includes all African campaigns on combating violence against women. And that is Kenya in 1998, SHIHA, these are the organizations, I guess. Strategic Initiative for Horn and East Africa Women, Djibouti, the United Nations World Summit on Sustainable Development, and that is Nairobi 2002, the European Commission on Sudan Oil, and that is ECOS, Brussels 2002, the UN Racism and Xenophobia Conference, Johannesburg 2002, the All Civic Society Conference by Civic, whatever. That Botswana 2003. USID and its global partners, Capable Partners Conference, New York 2005, the UN and Civil Society Conflict Prevention and Resolution Dialogue Conference in 2005, Gender in Transition, Justice organized by the Center for Transitional Justice, that is 2008, and the Women in the Land of Conflict, 2008, among others and workshops. Susan is a member of various networks within the continent and the global. My brothers and sisters, fellow citizens of South Sudan, and my fellow SPLM, let us welcome a woman who is like a mother to us all.
Listen. Sisters, comrades, I am so sorry to be keeping you here until midnight, and my sister, Comrade Sunday, spoke for almost 20 minutes just introducing me. I'm very sorry for that. That was not, I don't know where she got all that information from. She really must have done a lot of research, I don't know. I want to get on with it. Comrade Ladugubek, first of all, I would like to begin with big congratulations. A man befitting where you are today. The speech was nothing less than moving. I am humbled to stand in front of all of us here, especially in front of you, Comrade Ladugubek. I was really moved, personally. Today, brothers and sisters, we're gathered to witness the inauguration of our comrade. And I would like to emphasize that over and above wishing him the best in his journey, we pledge our full support in his journey of leadership in the U.S. chapter. It is our sincere hope that Comrade Ladugubek shall work tirelessly to unite our membership and make it prosper from strength to more. The SPLM is a socialist-based movement inspired by values and principles which include justice, equity, equality among all our people, regardless of our ethnicity, religion, gender, age, etc. Comrade Ladugubek, you echoed these words. I could not have put them any better. As well, our values include very centrally pluralism. We are a multi-cultural society aspiring to be a multi-political society as well. The SPLM has set the example, and Comrade Ladugubek, you have mentioned about the other groups and how you're going to work together with them. That is pluralism in action. Respect for the rule of law, prosperity, democracy, harmony, and social cohesion. Comrade Ladugubek, you said you have a dream that one day the 64 tribes of South Sudan truly become one nation, one people. As SPLM, we also strive to promote, protect, and respect democratic institutions, separation of powers, and collective leadership. Bottom up and up bottom. We learn from one another. There is no one set or one blue document that everybody knows it all. It is from the bottom to the top and vice versa. We are indeed a diverse society along social-cultural, religious, and beliefs. This we must fully embrace and respect. We must recognize that and appreciate that our diversity is our beauty as people. I would like to give you special messages that were conveyed in a meeting with His Excellency, the Chairman of the party, President Salva Kiir Mayardit. On Monday the 12th, we met with him for almost 2.5 hours. He started by saying that I need to tell you and share with you where we're at today. As we speak right now, where we're at. Comrade Mayardit said to us when he met us on Monday 12th that we must specifically discuss issues pertaining to our SPLM USA chapter. He mandated us as a delegation, those of myself and Comrade Kotwal, Bolmel, and the rest of us, our names have been mentioned over, including my son here, that he has wholeheartedly extended his hands in full support to a leadership, Comrade Ladugubek. But he also said, I also ask from you to come with a solution that is agreeable by all of us in the US. He has endorsed you as a leader and he pledged his full support, but he also urged you that we must unite ourselves with all the different groupings that are all the family of the SPLM. Other issues which are national, and this is very important, Comrade Adugubek, you mentioned that the challenges are many, but it's the window of opportunities that we need to look into, the entry point for opportunities. The challenges include, and also pertinent guiding principles for the situation we're under at the moment, include commitment to peace immediately. Comrade Chairman of the SPLM, President Mayardit, said, as SPLM and as chairperson of the SPLM and as head of the government of the Republic of South Sudan, he is fully committed to peace first, and that peace must come immediately so that the bloodshed that is in our republic must stop immediately. And as such, he has emphatically committed himself to peace negotiations. We have all monitored where we have been. For the past 1 year and few months, we have been shuttling around from Ethiopia, back and forth Juba, and wherever peace takes us, including the Arusha Intra-Party Dialogue, the SPLM Arusha Intra-Party Dialogue, which eventually was supposed to have been there, but this also was far more important at the time, and other comrades are doing their part there. So that is a manifestation of the leadership of Comrade Salva Kiir Mayardit, as we know from before also. This did not start only with last year, but he has envisaged that our society, the Republic of South Sudan, the people of South Sudan, have been highly traumatized. We have undergone prolonged civil wars, and because of that, he began the reconciliation ahead of this conflict that broke out in December 2013. We all know the dialogue that he started in 2006 with the late General Paulino Matip and others that followed. He has always extended the hands of reconciliation as part of our healing so that we build our nation peacefully and harmoniously. This has been an ongoing effort by him, unfortunately frustrated by other fellow comrades. Yet, he says we're ready to still continue to fully engage with any opposition, armed or otherwise, to realize peace by 2015. This is his personal commitment as #1 priority in our country. That we as SPLM, we fully accept, this is the message from President Kiir, we fully accept as SPLM our collective responsibility of bringing a just, lasting peace together with the SPLM in opposition and G10. That this is a collective responsibility. The crisis that happened, it happened from fellow comrades, and we have the responsibility to bring a just and lasting peace. And he said, once peace is restored and our country is at peace, we are fully committed to be held accountable for any wrongdoing and violations in due course, but not now. Rather, after we attain the peace. He said, the population need and deserve peace. The population need, the bloodshed that is taking place among our people need to be stopped first. He cannot go and say, Ya Fulan, you have committed this violation, you have killed this now. He said, not now. This will happen in due course. First, we must restore peace and order in the country. He said, he remains fully committed to no violations. And his commitment and his government commitment and the SPLM as a ruling party to the agreement of cessation of hostilities that was signed last year in 2014. Unfortunately, as some of us or many of us know, that the other partners in the agreement may have not been honoring it. He literally said to me, Comrade Suzanne, I'm sitting or standing with my hands tied to my back like this. The enemy comes and attacks civilians. they attack our SPLA army, but because we are a state, we are a government, we are responsible for our people. Whether they're in the side or whether in the government control areas or in opposition, these are all my people, he said. And because of that, I don't want to violate the cessation of hostilities agreement, he said. But he also urges us that we have a big responsibility to create awareness and sensitize the world on these violations so that condemnation and action can be taken to protect our civilians on the other sides or wherever they're being attacked. And along those lines, he said, we must step up all our regional and international diplomacy. Dear comrades, Comrade Adugubek, you talked a lot about these issues earlier on in your speech. We have missions, we have embassies. Comrade Bag, Ambassador here, is here amongst us, and from the UN representative office as well, is amongst us here. However, as SPLM, we come with a long history of diplomacy and advocacy. That history we must revitalize and revive. We have friends around the globe. We have the expertise, we have the knowledge, and we can break barriers. We're not confounded by protocols of etc., etc. Rather, we can utilize and develop channels of people-to-people dissemination, and which can culminate to diplomacy, diplomatic efforts through the media, the civil society, the churches, policymakers, etc. There's so much that we can develop, and this is what you alluded to, I think, Comrade Adugubek, when you talked about the strategies. Let our strategies be informed by our context and driven by a vision to realize a just and lasting peace in our country, and to educate the world about we are not warmongers. We may be highly traumatized, and some of us may sometimes resort easily to violence. However, we are people that have been yearning for justice, freedom, and peace. We must educate the world on that so that there is no stereotyping on us as a people who are lovers of lawlessness and wars. Furthermore, the President has urged all of us to ensure to disseminate widely. This is very important. As much as we advocate for peace, we must also enlighten the world on who is infringing violations. What's going on at the moment in the region, IGAD region, that is, some countries are siding with the opposition. The problem for us is not the issue of siding with who, or siding with who, or not siding with who. But the problem is, who are the victims? It is the people. So when a government like Ethiopia is seemingly siding with the opposition, turning a blind eye to what the White Army is doing, committing the violations, we cannot stand by and watch. And it's not because we're against the person of Dr. Riek Machar or his followers. No. It is because we're trying to protect our people. We're trying to create awareness among the Ethiopian people and government that they too have a moral responsibility. For when time comes for accountability, they too may shoulder some of the responsibility of the violations. On other issues that are current at the moment that I would like to move very swiftly on is the general elections, June 30th, 2015. The President emphasized, and we as SPLM, of course, as a party, we know our constitution. The transition constitution expires by which date? Let us not leave any vacuum, constitutional vacuum, for anyone to negotiate after having failed scheming politically and militarily to try and negotiate themselves in through peace processes into a government. So somebody who has no Sharia, who has no legitimacy, and who has violated numerous and numerous violations upon violations to negotiate themselves back in because of a constitutional void. It is very important that we must prepare ourselves. And it begins with our unity as SPLM family. Comrade Aduku Bek, I'm sorry to put a lot on your shoulders, but I know you are wise enough that as we continue with our discussions tomorrow and the subsequent days, that the team you're going to help put together is a team that is fully committed to the core values of the SPLM and to the love of our nation. Patriots, nationalists, individuals who can see and rise above personal interests or any other interests that may not unite us together. The US chapter, if you prove yourselves that you're capable of uniting yourselves as leadership in this chapter and uniting and rallying our people here, there's a lot that we can emulate. And some of our side discussions with the concerned group who are now dissolved, they dissolve themselves, they say they're no longer concerned group, but they have concerns, is that we learned a couple of lessons from them. A window of opportunity of dialogue peacefully. When we disagree as a family, as an SPLM family, we need not go the violent route. However, we can put together or put forward, articulate the issues of differences. The SPLM as an institution may have beautiful documents, impeccable vision, wonderful values, but it depends on the people behind this, the office bearers, people like myself, like the former Secretary General, or the Acting Secretary General, or even the chairperson, back at home, or even in the diaspora. It depends on these individuals, how they interpret that vision and how we work alongside our comrades. A lot depends on that. By uniting ourselves as SPLM, we are able to unite the people of South Sudan, no doubt. Comrade Akodwal mentioned a lot about SPLM training, and I think Comrade Aduku Bek, you mentioned that also. Comrade Chairman of the SPLM at headquarters, Comrade Salva Kiir Mayardit, talked of the SPLM reorganization. Yeah. This is a step that has begun today here. And he says, as SPLM, we're committed to reorganize and reform ourselves by holding the SPLM Extraordinary Convention as soon as possible within the first quarter of this year, whereby we shall validate and adopt our basic documents, which is the Constitution and the Manifesto, so that as we go around disseminating the core values of the SPLM, we should be armed with the documents that are authenticated, not of what I think, or he thinks, or she thinks. Along the lines of this training and succession programs, whether it emanates from a vision and translates into strategies, it is important. The SPLM must continue 100 years from now in the Republic of South Sudan. The SPLM must go beyond the borders of the Republic of South Sudan. We are the only socialist-based movement in East and Horn of Africa. The SPLM must ensure that the spirit of Pan-Africanism and the spirit of our identity as collective, as Africans, as African people, the SPLM must spearhead that within that region. There's a vacuum in that region. The SPLM must build solidarity with Southern African liberation movements that not only who stood with us during the struggle, but also who continue to instill Pan-Africanism within that region. The SPLM is a member, of course, with socialist-based movements around the globe, so that the world is a better place. It is not only in the Republic of South Sudan, or East Africa, or the continent, but the world as well. We have ambitions, and we have dreams as SPLM as well. I would go very quickly on the South Sudanese diaspora role. Whatever you do, my dear comrades, follow the basic documents. Look at where your mandate is. We must discipline ourselves. As members of the party, whether we have portfolio or as individual members, we must continue to educate and re-educate and orient ourselves on the values and the norms and the regulations of the party. No one is above the norms and the regulations of the party, and this is something very important. Perhaps this has been one of the major reasons or causes for the problems that we're having. Had we had more discipline among ourselves, there may have been no much ambitiousness as have been manifested with the fallen comrades. And this is something that could happen anywhere for the continuation's sake and all of that. I would like to end with a very special message that I always hold very dear to me. Having worked very closely with SPLM diaspora worldwide since 2008 to date, I'm very keen to make home attractive. I believe that the diaspora is not only our seventh front, I believe that the diaspora is not only our seventh front, but the diaspora perhaps may be our, not savior per se, but perhaps may be a major factor in saving our nation. The reason why I'm saying this, on voluntary basis, during the struggle, the diaspora worked day in, day out, with no any monetary rewards or awards. You championed the cause. You campaigned and advocated for our struggle. Can you imagine, now that we have a nation, what you are capable of doing? If you did that without any invitation, without any recognition, per se, how much more can you do when you know you have a nation, you have a passport that you can hold proudly, and you say, I'm a South Sudanese? We can do much more. I would like to say that my office is open. Comrade Alubek and team, to be. I know I may not be able to visit you as I would wish, or you would wish, all of you here. It's my first visit officially to the US. I'm concluding it. But the world has become a global village. ICT has made a lot of things very possible. Pose your questions, pose your suggestions, write to me. I will reply. There's no day or time that an email comes to me in queries, even no matter how small or how big it is a national calling, it's a national duty. Contribute, feel free, and I will do it. I will do it at night, I will do it in the morning, I will do it in the afternoon, I will do it during meetings, except when I'm driving probably. I would like to end by just saying my remarks of thank you. I'll begin with thanking Comrade Mangok Mian wholeheartedly. I would like to be given maybe 2 minutes on that one. Comrade Mangok and myself worked a lot during the latter part of the CPA. The mobilization of our community in the whole of the United States, and not only that, but inspiring neighboring Canada, our community in Canada, so that our people will come forward in order to come and contribute and participate in the elections. He did the same as well for the referendum. If there's anybody that has written documents from headquarters or headquarters level, it is me. I have all those documents from Comrade Mangok. And the day the Republic of South Sudan was declared a republic, one of the first phone calls I received was from Comrade Mangok. He was in tears. He told me, Comrade Suzanne Jambo, we are free people today. That one I will never forget for Comrade Mangok. When we remember the good things, we pay compliments at the right places, personally, I find it a very peaceful gesture. I find I have no qualms with the person anymore. When I remember something good about the person, whatever bad he or she may have said to me, I will forget it. Because now I'm more positive, thinking about the good thing that this person and I did together. I am saying this at this juncture, Comrade Ladugubek and the other comrades. Let us remember always, when we are at loggerheads, when we are almost about to fight on issues, let us remember the good things about one another, and peace will come and dwell amongst us, and we will see a way forward where we're together. Comrade, I would like to thank Comrade Lut Mangan for having helped to organize, to facilitate, to organize the North Carolina, as infamous as it may have been referred to, it has also contributed to this day. And I kid you not, it is going to contribute to perhaps some sort of transformation of the SPLM at headquarters. Comrade Lut Mangan and team, thank you very much for going by national duty and by national call. And you may have done one or two things that people may question you, but you did it for a good reason. Comrade Sande, Joapili, Santino Deng, and Lawrence Muga, you all did a wonderful job. And Justin McGarry. I would like to also give a special thanks to the former concern group. They are no longer called concern group, because they patriotically shared genuine concerns. They opened up our eyes and ears, and we're going to replicate that wherever we go, so that there is greater unity. You know, without correcting ourselves, there is no unity. There is superficial unity. It's only about to break up any time. But when we're able to criticize ourselves constructively, then we're able to forge a stronger future together. So thank you very much, dear comrades, led by Comrade Manon, for the job well done, for opening our eyes and ears and hearts for criticism, and for also putting the SPLM above everything and saying, you know what, it is dissolved. We're together, we're one family. That is wonderful. I would also like to thank our SPLM vet. Comrade James Major talked a lot earlier. I'm not going to dwell on that, but I want to tie it in with something very important. A nation that has sacrificed so much. I don't want to go to the Bible as such, for those of us who may not want to go to the Bible, but I think in Isaiah chapter 18, it is clear that the Republic of our country, South Sudan, has given enough gifts to the Lord. And God said, I will not make that nation go through the same again. He made us a promise. We have seen earlier on some of our comrades, the SPLM vet, standing, those who were shot before, and those who names who are no longer with us and among us today, sacrificed their dear life for us. I'm trying to tell you as SPLM and tell us here, as SPLM US, and all of us here, including myself, that a nation that is not built on gratitude for the selfless sacrifices, that nation shall not prosper. We must always remind ourselves where we have come from, who sacrificed so dearly for us to be where we are today, so that we live a day of today in a grateful way to the God Almighty and to those who sacrificed for us, whether living among us, whether dead. And also that shall guide us in the future, so that our future is not a future based on fakeness. It is based on solid grounds of selflessness and sacrifices that we have not forgotten and that we should not forget. Our fallen heroes and heroines and their families, widows and orphans, are living testimony among us in the Republic of South Sudan. For those of us who hold public office, we wish to remind ourselves constantly, every dollar or every pound I'm stealing from an orphan, I'm stealing from a widow. That level of consciousness, SPLM must instill in us, each and every South Sudanese, so that we do not rob our people who sacrifice with their own dear blood and their own families. Last is my thank you goes to Comrade Akodlu Agden. Akodlu Agden, you're the President Envoy of Peace. You told me something before we came on this mission. You told me, Comrade Suzanne, there is no task I take without making sure it's completed successfully. You lived up to your word. Your wife delivered. You flew in. The first phone call you got was from some of the concerned group. The SPLM members. You left your family on the side and you kept shuttling between one meeting to another. That is a level of selflessness I've seen here. We refer to one another brother and sister. Brother Akodlu, thank you for that. It's been wonderful working with you on this. Comrade Bonmel, I know so many times you tell me, yeah, Susanna, I'm not a politician. And then you say, I'm going. But 5 minutes, you come and sit down again. You come and sit down again, you are listening. And then you say, no, what that point, Comrade Bonmel, thank you very much for staying with us during this entire period. And I know you have a lot to do back. Money, time is money for you. Together with Comrade Denwick. I would like to thank you very much. A country is civil society, a country is people, a country is a political party, a country is a government, a country is also the private sector. They are a private sector. Without money, we cannot move forward as well. Better still, when we have private sector that is also inspired or influenced by political ideals and ideologies such as the one of the SPLM. My two brothers from the private sector, I'm very proud to have worked with you in the past few days since this assignment, that I know you are not just sheer or mere businessmen who are trying to milk money from people, but you are trying to make a transformation in our country. Keep up that work, and you have our commitment as SPLM with you on those endeavors. My last thank you, once more, is to Comrade Nadugo Bek. Thank you very much, my brother. You make me very proud. You spoke of the cuff, you spoke an unwritten statement, but you spoke most eloquently and most inspiring. I pray to God that you shall walk the talk. And I'm here with you. And I thank you for taking that assignment. Physical disability is not an ability, and you're proving that to us. We thank you for that. Thank you very much, everyone that has stayed up to this time. This is also a personal sacrifice from each and every one of us, and a clear manifestation of the commitment and the love that you have for our nation and for our party. God bless you all. Thank you.
There's a beautiful, beautiful ladies waiting outside for traditional dance. Thank you very much, Comrade Suzanne Jambo. I gave you my note. I don't know if you follow it, but your speech was great, as much as it is. We thank you all for coming over here, but the kids are sleeping, and these are the kids who are dance to show their excitement, their happiness, set the generation of tomorrow. So we're waiting for the drums, and you're going to be excited in a few minutes. So I'm going to give Ambassador Backwell very few minutes to conclude these speeches, and then we'll go and celebrate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I know that people are a bit tired. It's been a very long day, so I will try to be short. Very short. So I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the SPLM chapter in Minnesota and also the organizing committee. They have done a very wonderful job. I want to congratulate Comrade Suzanne Jambo for overseeing the successful conduct of this very important SPLM meeting, and together with his team, those of Okotlual and the rest of the members of the delegation. I want to also congratulate Comrade Mangok Mayan for the work he has done over the past few years in holding the office of the SPLM National Secretariat in USA. I want to congratulate Nado Gobek for and wish him a successful term in his office. And I want to take this opportunity to also hope that he will organize his office in such a way that it will accommodate the concerns of the wider membership of the SPLM here in the USA. I want to appeal to the SPLM members to work with the new office and also to help make SPLM in USA to be strong. I want all of us to work for peace, reconciliation, and unity. The Bible says, blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called the children of God. The coup that took place in 2013 took us back, but we will all work together to ensure that rebellion is not rewarded. I urge all of you, the SPLM members, the South Sudanese here in America, to support the ruling party, which is the SPLM, to support our government, and to support our President, His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit. I urge all of you to reject tribalism. I urge all of you to reject tribalism and to echo what we are saying in the embassy to our friends in America, that there is no war between Nuer and Dinka. It is very important for us to diagnose the problem, because if you don't diagnose the problem properly, you will not be able to supply the solution for it. What happened in our country in 2013 was a power struggle, and the former Vice President decided to take the discussion to the next level, decided to attempt to take power by force, and that is something, especially those of you who have been living in America, I hope you will not subscribe to that. Let us support peace, which is taking place in Addis Ababa, and all reconciliation efforts being undertaken to bring peace back to our country. Let us support democracy as an election as the only viable means for selecting our leaders. I also want to urge you to support your embassy through contacting your senators, your governors, your media, the churches, and anybody that you can contact to try and support the mission and vision of your embassy here in America. We cannot do it alone. We have an embassy, your embassy in Washington, D.C. You also have a mission in the headquarters of United Nations in New York, but we cannot do it alone. We need your support. I was told that the South Sudanese in North America and Canada number between 60 to 80,000 people. This is such a huge number of our citizens we cannot ignore, and that is why people like me came to attend this event today. And that is why Comrade Suzanne Jambo and her delegation made the effort to travel all the way from Juba to come and be with you today. It is because you are very important. So please don't let yourself down. We in the embassy, we have a lot of work to do. We know what we are supposed to do, but we need your help. I'm not going to go through what we do in the embassy, but we do a lot of work, consular work, things that are related to the South Sudanese community and our people in diaspora. And I want to take this opportunity to welcome every one of you to the South Sudan Embassy. It is your home away from home, because there has been some rumors going around that the embassy is not welcoming and the diplomats in our missions are not welcoming their citizens. This is not true, and I want to dispel that rumor, and I want to appeal to all of you that please, you are welcome anytime to South Sudan Embassy. If you have anything that you want to come and discuss with us, please feel welcome, let us know, and we will avail time to meet with you. Soon I will be welcoming two of my colleagues. I will be welcoming His Excellency Ambassador Garang Afong, who will be heading our mission here in Washington. I will also be welcoming another colleague who will be my deputy, Ambassador Gordon Boy-Malek. And you should ask yourself, why is our president sending 3 ambassadors to Washington? It is because America is very important. America is very important for our country. And we have a lot of work to do, and we cannot do it, like I said, without you. I will also be welcoming soon 3 immigration officers. They will be based in our embassy in Washington, and most of their work will be done with you. They will be issuing nationality certificates. They will be issuing South Sudanese passports. These will happen very soon, and when they have already been identified, we know their names, they have already received their diplomatic passport, they have already applied for visa. So when they arrive in Washington and they settle in their new office, we will let you know, and I hope that all of you would want to be South Sudanese, to hold the South Sudanese nationality certificate, to hold South Sudanese passport, and to contribute to the socio-economic development of South Sudan. Thank you very much.
I just want to thank everybody who have come and spoken here. And I know that many of us have been here seated since today, and maybe afternoon or in the evening, and it has been a long sitting. But the most important thing is that we came here for a purpose, and we have achieved that objective. Now we want to exercise. You know, we come from our traditional culture. We have something to share, and today, in honor of our chairman, we have the annual group here to entertain us. I look at them and I admire, you know, those bees and the way they dress up. And let us welcome them as they come to show us the annual culture. Please welcome the group.
Yeah. Baby, now I got